You're taking a live look at a now quiet Paycor Stadium. Upper level clouds right now and temperatures in the middle 60s now at noon. Very comfortable and certainly good vibes here in the Queen City after such a big game last night. Hopefully you are feeling a lot better today about the season and about the weather too, because it is quite comfortable today. Tomorrow's going to be quite warm, but Sunday's the day to watch. We got those showers and storms pulling on through dark and early, and that update is coming up in just a few minutes. Right now, take a look at these temperatures. Yeah, 65 here in Cincinnati. We're in the low 60s, West Union, Hillsborough, and Wilmington, but we are seeing plenty of sun in this forecast for today. You're going to notice some extra clouds pulling on in later today. It's going to keep temperatures from getting too warm too quickly. We'll be in the low 70s for the heat of the day today. You'll see that here in just a second. I want to give you the first alert on a warm, then stormy weekend. That means Saturday is looking mostly dry still and quite warm still, and then Sunday is still looking quite stormy too. It's a first alert weather day. If you've been watching this forecast very carefully, long story short, not many changes. Maybe some minor tweaks in the timing, but things are looking still messy, wet, windy, even throughout the afternoon and evening there on Sunday. We'll still unpack that update here in just a few minutes. And next week, getting ahead of the game for next week's forecast, the week of the 20th is looking cooler and consistently cool too, because this week we've seen highs in the 70s, we've seen highs in the 60s, we're back in the 70s and eventually the 80s, whereas next week it's pretty steady. You'll see it here in your 10-day and just coming up in just a few minutes. Beautiful look to the Queen City right now. Our new Port on the Levee camera does a magnificent job of showing the blue skies this Friday afternoon. You'll notice some extra clouds coming on in by the afternoon, or the late afternoon, I should clarify, and that's going to keep temperatures in the low 70s, but we're in the middle 60s now. You could step out the door without the jacket, be totally fine, especially with how much sun we're seeing right now. And a noticeable breeze will join you on those lunchtime plans from the south, and so that's pulling in a little extra moisture. That's why we're able to see some additional cloud cover and getting you out the door. Highs here in Cincinnati, they're going to be right around 70 degrees. I want to give you a bird's eye view of what we're seeing here in Cincinnati. Show you what's happening now and what's coming in just a little bit later, because I mean by tomorrow you're really going to notice those winds, and then the showers and storms will start really early Sunday morning. But I mean, it looks great. Just some upper level clouds pushing east towards Claremont, Brown, Highland, Clinton counties at this point in time. More clouds are on the way. You can kind of see those thicker clouds getting closer to Evansville, Indiana, which means we'll be seeing it here over the next 3 to 4 hours or so, because they don't exactly move very quickly. But nevertheless, we're noticing a southerly wind, which means we're going to be a little bit warmer today just compared to yesterday, and cloudier too. This is going to be good for the Football Friday forecast. Our game of the week here at Fox 19 is South Dearborn at Lawrenceburg. Temperatures in the middle 60s for kickoff at 7 o'clock in Lawrenceburg. And for all of the area football games, it's going to be very pleasant. With those temperatures, I mean, they're going to be cool in the mid 60s, dropping to the low 60s, but there's no significant drop. You're not going to notice a big chill by the end of the game. I'd still bring a jacket just because I know the bleachers can get cold, but it's certainly not going to be as cold as what we saw last evening. And that is because we have additional clouds and we have those southerly winds kind of helping us out too. It's really helping out these temperatures there for Saturday. Sunday. Talk so much about it, I'm getting my days mixed up. Saturday's great. 82 though, so a little warm for this time of year. No sweaters necessary. The fall photo shoots that you possibly have scheduled on Saturday, while it is going to be the driest day of the week, it is going to be warm, so maybe skip the sweaters. And it's also going to be breezy, so maybe you have to do like a half up, half down sort of deal with if you've got long hair like me. It's going to be a little bit breezy with the low 80s. And then later that evening, west of Cincinnati, we're seeing the timing of this delay just by like a couple of hours, so we're still noticing this being mainly overnight into Sunday start time, and then will continue throughout Sunday, which Sunday's that day, first alert weather day, showers and thunderstorms, of which could bring some strong to severe wind gusts. We'll unpack that threat here in just a second. But even outside of these thunderstorms, it's still going to be very windy too. I'm seeing these wind gusts to give you an idea. Some models are picking up on 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts, not just for one location, but for many of us. So that's possible. Generally speaking, the heaviest rain will be early in the day, the morning. That's not to say the afternoon's going to be dry or sunny or any of that, because it's still going to be wet. It's still going to be windy. As that cold front fully clears the tri-state, then we will start to notice some clearer, drier conditions. That'll be mainly later in the evening, but that'll be good for taking the dog out for the walk. If you want to get it done, you do have time. It's just going to be a little damp outside, maybe still a bit breezy, but the evening is looking better than the morning. The impacts here, of course, any of your outdoor plans have and will be greatly disrupted. Travel too. I know Charm at the Farm, it's a big event here, at least for those north of Cincinnati up towards Warren and Clinton, Claremont counties too. I love it. It's so much fun. If you can get out there today or tomorrow, it's fantastic. But they actually changed the hours of their event. They made Saturday's hours longer. So instead of it ending on Saturday at 4, it ends at 7. And that's because they actually canceled all of Sunday because of the weather. It's going to be messy, even, throughout the afternoon into the evening. So that's just one example. I'm sure many of us have had to reconsider plans, and it's good that we got the message out early, because hopefully people were able to plan ahead for these showers and these thunderstorms, of which, yeah, we could see something strong, could see something severe. It's not out of the question, but it's a very isolated and low chance. For this time of year, we'd usually get a storm system that's like this with a low threat for something strong to severe. And like yesterday, we are on the outskirts of this bigger threat. We're still seeing the bullseye far south and west of us. Yeah, it's going to stay down there, guys. This is good, because even though we have the chance of seeing some strong, maybe severe wind gusts here locally, I don't think it's going to breach severe limits. We don't have a great chance of seeing severe thunderstorm warnings with this one. Certainly not seeing anything too concerning in the way of tornadoes too. But it's still possible that we get some of those stronger wind gusts. And even outside of the thunderstorms, it's still going to be breezy. It's still going to be windy, even for Sunday, in which we also have most of the tri-state under a marginal risk for severe weather. So what does that mean? A marginal risk. It's on a scale of 1 to 5. These are put out by the Storm Prediction Center. And on that scale of 1 to 5, it's a 1. So it's the lowest on that scale, but it is still on the scale. So it's still possible because of those winds. And of course, we do have a flood risk that comes with heavy rain for this time of year, just because it's been so dry the last week or so. Flooding is going to be a concern. You'll see it here, your weather timeline, Saturday. You're looking at the afternoon here. So the numbers that you see there, those are the wind gusts. And I put this all together to give you an idea. Not only is it going to be rainy, but it's also going to be breezy at the same time that it's raining. And so that's why travel on the roads on Sunday is going to be so messy on the interstates. Even just a little bit of rain goes a long way in Cincinnati, as we all know and drive on the interstates. But Sunday's really going to be disruptive. But Saturday, hey, just a little bit of a precursor, a taste of what's to come. Breezy conditions in the afternoon, but mostly dry. You don't really see those rain chances getting close to the tri-state until about 10 to midnight. And then from like midnight to 2, it starts to trek into the tri-state. So that's the updated timing. It has delayed by like a couple of hours. But notice those winds, they're going to start to kick up despite the sun being set. These winds are still gusting up to about 30 to 35 miles per hour. As that line of showers and storms gets into Cincinnati, that will happen around 5 to 6. Lightning, heavy rain, it's going to be windy, a messy morning for all the brunch plans, all the church plans. Here's 8 o'clock in the morning. Heavy rain still looking around Cincinnati. It pushes east by about 10. And we do catch some dry time. It's not going to be actively raining for hours and hours and hours, but it's still going to be wet and windy. You're still going to notice quite the impact to your commute. Here's lunchtime. Notice those winds, 30 miles per hour on Connorsville and Harrison at this time. And as that line of gusty showers, maybe a few thunderstorms in that, clears the tri-state. That'll happen by about dinner time. And then we're starting to notice dry time. Like I mentioned a few minutes ago, the evening is looking a lot better compared to the morning. It's still going to be damp outside. It's still going to be noticeably breezy, especially east of Cincinnati. We're holding on to those wind gusts up to and around 30 miles per hour until the sun sets. But hey, it's looking better in the evening. That's when you can take the dog out for a walk and do so without getting pelted by rain. See if you have any questions coming on through this afternoon, and I'm not seeing anything, which is good news as always. We'll go ahead and keep rolling on here with your weather timeline. I'm going to show you how much rain we're tracking because it's producing a good amount of rain. I think most of us will get around that inch mark. That's the light green that you see there, west of Cincinnati, far west, out toward Bloomington, Indiana, and then east of Cincinnati as well, whereas some of us could see closer to about half of an inch. That's the dark green you see there. Yeah, it's the timing of this is not great for the weekend plans. And of course, this time of year does come in with those hidden hazards as well. So this is how Sunday could affect you. Of course, the rain and the storms in and of itself is very disruptive, but this year, and this time of year, I should say, can bring in something a little bit, what am I trying to say? These are hidden hazards. You might not think of these, but here's the first alert. Decorations will be blown around. I know there are so many infamous videos of big inflatable pumpkins like rolling down the street, specifically law enforcement like chasing them. I saw that all of last year and even the year before, and this is the sort of event that could make something like that happen unless you tie it down or let it deflate and bring it inside, at least for Sunday, because otherwise it'll be blown around and you will be the culprit for some viral video. And yeah, not the best, but wet leaves this time of year also quite slippery. And not to mention, we haven't seen a ton of that fall color quite yet, but the drought has caused a lot of these trees to lose their leaves before they were actually able to change into these oranges, these yellows, and these reds. And so I'm expecting a good amount of leaves to actually drop with this event because these wind gusts this time of year, the drought that we had all of September stepping into October, these leaves are not really too stuck to the trees at this point. They're ready to go, and the winds will help with that. And then the rain on top of it, you can imagine, pretty slippery on the bike trails especially, but also the sidewalks and the roadways. So that's if you don't clear the leaves off of the roadways, the pavements and things like that. And then of course with any rain you have muddy grass, muddy trails too. But like I mentioned, the late afternoon and the evening, they look great. And by great I mean drier. It's all relative, right? And speaking of great, I mean, look at this. It's actually kind of funny to see the jump from 82 on Saturday to 64 on Sunday, and then we stay there. These temperatures are actually going to be below normal for the first time in what feels like a long time, not just for one day, but for all of next week. I mean, these highs are going to be in the low 60s, maybe the upper 50s on Wednesday. So you can imagine those mornings are going to be pretty chilly. Let's actually show you what that is going to look like here on your 10-day low temperature map, because yeah, this morning was chilly. We only dropped to 48 degrees this morning. Yeah, I'm forecasting lows here in Cincinnati next week in the middle 40s, so even colder than what we woke up to this morning. That's going to be for several days out of next week. And then Saturday, Sunday, I mean, it's all about the rain, right? It's going to be messy, and temperatures are going to be dropping throughout the day there on Sunday with that cold front pulling on through that cooler and that drier air. So once we get through Sunday, things are looking better into next week as far. It's going to be drier. It is just going to be a little chilly, but again, normal for this time of year to see this on your 10-day forecast. And 70 your forecast high today. Clouds are going to be building into that warm Saturday. You could argue the jacket in the morning on Saturday, but it's great weather for running. Middle 50s. You don't have too much sun, but the afternoon also looks pretty good. Low 80s, a bit sticky, a bit humid. Starting to step into the evening ahead of the FC Cincinnati match. And as we mentioned just a second ago, the timing of these showers and storms, while it's going to be overnight, it's delaying just a little bit. So the FC Cincinnati match is looking better. It's their last home game of the regular season. So go out, cheer the orange and blue on. You can do so without the ponchos. Sunday, stormy and windy. Of course, we say it and have said it so many times, but that is not the day that you want to be outside, especially on the roads. With these winds, how rainy it's going to be difficult to get anywhere around the tri-state, especially the interstates and where we have construction going on. But temperatures dropping from the low 70s Sunday morning into the middle 60s by the afternoon. That's that cold front working its magic, doing its thing. And it brings in a chilly morning as soon as Monday. But that means clear skies come with it too. So we're seeing a lot of sun in Monday's forecast. Tuesday, I'm only seeing a spotty light chance in the morning. Want to give you that first alert though, that it's going to be fairly light impact, especially compared to Sunday. We'll let you know that update as soon as we see more information. Wednesday into Thursday, look at those temperatures, just kind of dipping down a little bit into Wednesday. We're talking a high of 58. You'll need the jackets all day for Wednesday. Things can change. I'll let you know if that happens. But if you want to get out and enjoy a weekend in October where it's not too hot and it's not too cold and it's not storming, I've got some good news for you, because while we are still 9-10 days away, not this weekend, but next weekend, it's looking good. Middle to low 60s for those afternoon highs, and I'm not seeing any big signals of big rain. Things can change. We'll let you know if that happens here at Fox 19. I'm still not seeing any questions rolling on in this Friday afternoon, getting my days mixed up. It's the weekend, guys. Happy Friday. Really enjoy it before we see some showers and storms rolling through on Saturday. We'll have the latest timing, the update on any threats to expect with this first alert weather day coming in this afternoon on Fox 19 at 3 o'clock. But for now, signing off here in Queensgate, I'm meteorologist Erin Ashley. Have a great weekend.